Welcome to Vermontitude, a collaborative effort between Great Eastern Radio, the Brattleboro Reformer, and BCTV to bring you the stories behind the stories on the topics you want to learn more about. Because there's always more, so there'll always be Vermontitude. Hosted by me, Peter Fish Case. Welcome to Vermontitude. New episodes drop every Tuesday and can be found by going to Vermontitude.com, Reformer.com, Brattleboro.tv, and locally on Comcast Channel 1078. We come to you from our studios at the Innovation Box on Landmark Hill. I'm Peter Fish Case, and each week I cover the topics that are of concern to Windham County and the towns that reside within its borders. Joining us today from the Windham County Heat Fund, we have Daryl. Almost said Strawberry. You're not Daryl Strawberry. You're Pillsbury. And we've got Richard Davis. Welcome, gents.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for having us.
All right. So the Windham County Heat Fund has been helping people in Windham County for 21 years. And for me, in the easiest, most simplest way possible, direct from you to the heat provider, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah,
yes.
We don't give money to individuals. We only give money to the fuel dealers.
Right. So, and that could be any single one of them. So if somebody were to call you, well, actually, let's run down how it works. So,
okay.
All right.
So somebody calls us, well, I heard that you can help me with fuel. So generally, if we don't know them and we don't know where they came from, or we send them an application, then it comes back to me. We look at it. If it looks good, and then I call the person and make sure how much fuel they have. And then we call the fuel dealer, tell them how much to give them. And then we'll call back to people and tell them, okay, we just paid for 125 gallons of oil. If it's an emergency, we'll do it right away. We won't have them do the application. We'll just fill it out, while we're on the phone if it sounds emergent. But we work with SEFCA. We get a lot of referrals from SEFCA and HCRS.
Yeah. And
once in a while from other human service agencies. So there is a good collaboration in Brattleboro.
So, the need, I remember 21 years ago that the oil prices had been, I think we talked about this a little bit before going live here, had been stable and they started to go up. So what was the two of you guys get together and you say we need to help people? I mean, how did this whole thing form?
That's just about how it formed. It was October of 2005. We were going to watch the Red Sox go back to back. And we were at Richard's house. It was cold. We knew there was trouble in the wind, and people were going to be cold. And Richard just said, we need to do something to help people with their heat. And we decided we'd just do a couple of fundraisers, which we did. We raised $11,000, and we tried to help as many people as we could on that. And we did it that way for a couple of years. And then on the third year, we decided we were going to keep doing this. We decided we should become a 501(c), and we did that so we could, people could give us bigger donations and write it off.
And Bernie Sanders came we had a kickoff event initially, and Bernie came, and I think he just took some $100 out of his wallet and gave it to me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, so that sort of started things. And we just kept doing it. And what happened, it only took about 3 years, word of mouth. People realized, hey, this is a good thing these people are doing. And so what's happened over the years, the same people send us money like a clockwork every year. We don't even ask them. They just send it to us. And it's amazing. All I do is maybe do a couple of op-eds at the beginning of the season and, send it to the two newspapers just to remind people. And that's all it takes. They send the money. Once in a while, we'll do grants, like the Thompson Trust has been very generous to us, and we get a matching grant for $20,000 with them now. And there's been local grants for smaller organizations or family trusts, and it's miraculous because our little secret is that we don't really do any fundraising. Well, not much. And the beauty of our organization is we don't have any overhead. We don't pay ourselves. pay if we need stamps or supplies. Generally, we'll just do it out of our own pocket. Once in a while, because I still have to use a computer to keep a database.
Right.
If the software craps out or something happens, it costs a lot of money, then maybe we'll pay for it. But other than that, most years it's pretty close to zero.
Well, I've always felt like your organization really is just boots on the ground in its orientation, and just getting out there and helping the folks that really need the help. 21 years of doing this is incredible. So my hat's off, applause to you guys. But I'm sure that over those times, there are a few times that you guys, like, that was a moment like really sort of helped you. If you're a golfer, it's like hitting that pure shot. That's what keeps you coming back. So there's that. That's
never happened to me. All right.
What is the thing? If you could each tell me a quick little story about that one thing that just said, this is why I do this. So Daryl, we'll start with you.
Happiness, being able to help somebody.
Right.
I get such a good feeling. There's nothing better than being able to tell somebody, I'm going to help you. During the COVID, and we have a lot of stories, but I tell this one. During COVID, I was getting my shot, and this nurse, they asked your name. I said, Daryl Pillsbury. This other young nurse said, are you Daryl Pillsbury that does the heat fund? And I said, yes. She says, you saved my life. And I looked at her and said, that's a little, thank you, but come on. And she goes, no, I was really down and out. I had 2 kids. We hadn't taken showers. We had nobody helping us. I called you. You had a truck here the next day with fuel, and it lifted my spirits. It made me feel good. And she said, I had to stop feeling sorry for myself, go out and do something. She went out and got an education and became a nurse. And it was because of that. I called Richard up right away, because that was a different type of story than what we're used to. Usually you're helping somebody who's breaking their furniture, no lie, and throwing it in a wood stove. I've been to a house where that's happened. So it was very rewarding, and that's the reason we continue. We keep looking at each other every year. Plus, like Richard said, people send us money. You almost don't want to let them down because, they're just sending us money. And the reason why that happens is everybody knows that every single dime goes to people that in need, and we turn the money over fast. Right, Richard? Yeah,
and just to note, we've raised over $1 million.
Wow.
That's pretty, that blows me away. I can't, it's amazing. So,
and helped over 2,000 families.
Yeah. So, in a given year, we usually get about 100 donors. That includes families and individuals. And then there's about 100 families that we help, and generally we aim for 50,000 to take in. But the stories, a lot of people cry on the phone. I mean, they're so thankful. They can't believe that, oh, no, you mean I don't have to, go through pages of forms and fill this out? And they almost dropped the phone. I can't believe it.
Right.
But I want to mention one thing, because I want people to know this. We do this once in a while. There's a lot of proud elderly Vermonters out there that don't want anybody to help them. And if you ever dealt with people like that, you know how stubborn they can be, and they just won't do it, and they'd rather sit in one room in their house for the winter with 3 sweaters on and close off all the doors. So what we have done in the past is neighbors might call us and say, so-and-so's really cold, and I'm really worried. I know she doesn't have any fuel. So we'll find out who the fuel dealer is, and we'll send the truck out, and nobody's refused it when the truck shows up in the driveway. So if you know anybody like that, call either Daryl or I, and we'll do something. We'll do a little research, find out, and give them a present.
See, this is the thing that I love about the way you guys run this organization. All right? You are helping the people who need help and not asking for help. You're doing the extra work to make sure that people don't freeze to death on a winter. And, this is the thing that I've always admired about the Windham County Heat Fund, and will continue to admire for as long as you guys are doing it. So, this is just it. It's just one of those things that make you feel good,
and that's why we do it. It just makes us feel so good, and it's helping people with their daily lives, and everybody needs it today. And this year, the reason why we're doing the GoFundMe page is because LIHEAP has been cut.
Right.
So Windham County gets approximately, we're not sure on the total figure, but approximately $2 million for fuel assistance. And that's a huge gap for what we do, because 50,000 is way not enough. So we're doing a GoFundMe page to try and get other people that we don't usually hit up or see what we're doing to donate. And it's starting to work.
Yeah, and I've spoken to, we speak to the front end people in the offices at the fuel companies. They're like social workers. And I found out recently that the companies in Brattleboro, the list of oil ones, they said that the majority of their customers get fuel assistance. And I said, they might not get it. And they their jaw dropped. And nothing has been 100% determined yet. We don't really know, and we won't know till the last minute. I think a lot of it is going to depend on this, if they close down the government.
Yeah.
I think one of the issues on that, on the budget that they're talking about includes LIHEAP. So if they close down the government, and it stays closed and then it opens again, LIHEAP may just never come back. You never know.
It's terrifying.
It is.
Beyond, yeah.
So, all right. So let's run down the basics right now. So we know what we're looking at on a federal level, and we don't want to get Daryl all fired up on politics. But this is another reason why the GoFundMe page exists. So people go to GoFundMe.com. What do they type in? How do they find you?
Well, if you just type in Windham County Heat Fund, it'll take you to our page, and then you can just donate. It's very simple.
Yeah.
Very, very simple. We posted and gave out a lot of copies of QR codes, but anyway, the easiest way is just to just type in GoFundMe and Windham County Heat Fund, and you'll find it, even if you're not a really good computer person. It's pretty simple.
Okay. All right, and that's that page is going to just stay up.
Yeah, as long as it can. I mean, we've taken in about $7,000.
Okay,
we set a goal of 100
donors, about $7,000 so far.
All right,
and our goal is 100,000.
Right, and that's with very little publicity.
Very little, and we do have a $20,000 matching grant from the Thomas Thompson Trust.
Right. So for the first 20,000, every dollar you give us, we make it into two.
So that's huge.
So that's what we want to do then.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So actually, the 7,000 is already 14.
Yeah, look at that. All right. All right. So it's the Windham County Heat Fund. We've got Daryl and Richard here who started this thing 21 years ago and have been doing the good work ever since. So I want to thank you guys. If you're interested, I'll make sure that there's a link in the bio below the video, and we'll make sure that we continue to publicize this and the good work you guys are doing.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And we would like to thank all of our donors, because without you, the Windham County Heat Fund does not exist.
Guys, thanks for jumping on Vermontitude today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.